AITA for not inviting them to my Christmas party after they didn't invite me to their wedding? I am not oop. Oop is you, thrower, not invite. They posted in r, am I the asshole? Your daily fun fact. You, Miles Allen requested miniature horses. A miniature horse has to be less than 3 feet tall to be classified as a miniature horse. And the smallest known mini horse is Thumbelina, who measures just 17.5 inches tall, 44.45 centimeters. Mood spoiler. Good ending. Though I still have no idea what the couple's problem was. Less than. Original post. December 22, 2022. I throw a pretty big Christmas party every year going on a decade now. A few years ago at one I threw my friend Tara met my former coworker Tony and they hit it off. They dated for a while. And 2 years later, once again at my Christmas party, she showed up with a ring on her finger and they announced for the first time that they were engaged. I was super happy for them. They got married this spring. We didn't get invited. When I was sending around my party invitations this year, I didn't see any reason to invite them back if they didn't think I wasn't worthy of making their guest list. I have known them both for years. Basically introduced them. And they literally announced their engagement at my home. It got back to me today that they're very upset with us for not inviting them this year. That my party is something they consider special and they think I'm being petty. A couple friends mentioned it was a smaller wedding and they feel like I'm just punishing them. It wasn't though. There were probably 200 people there and I knew at least 50 of them. And I was a little surprised at some of the names that made the cut over us. I didn't make a stink about it or anything. But I don't see why I should welcome them into my home again after being snubbed like that. My partner thinks I should just let it go and invite them back. But I don't see a reason why I should. AITA? Relevant comments. Did they give you a reason for no invite? I don't know. We didn't ask. I just took it to mean we weren't as close as I thought we were and let it go. But for the record, we literally had dozens of other friends who got invited. No, we never got an explanation. Just never received an invite. It got back to me through a mutual girlfriend. They were trying to limit the guest list. But we had dozens of other friends there. I just think it's kind of funny they're getting our friends to try and get them an invite now after they just pretended we weren't a part of their lives. About the party. Haha, you don't know the half of it. Over the last few years we have literally had it catered. Had bartenders inside and outside. Even hired someone to entertain kids earlier in the night. My partner and I put so much time, energy and money into this every year because we love our friends. It started out small when we were younger and now it's this big thing. I just don't like being taken for granted. Quote, edit about the amount of people who come. Not all at the same time since it runs from 5 p.m. through the night and early on some people. Mostly coworkers. Bring their kids. But I expect up to a couple hundred people overall. It really is a large party. In recent years we have catered it and hired bartenders. Did they ask you about getting engaged at your party beforehand? No, they didn't, but for the record I didn't mind at all. We were happy for them. Quote, finally, more about their relationship with the couple. I did introduce them. Not with the idea of setting them up or anything. More like introducing one group of friends to another and then they hit it off. They did use my party as an engagement announcement. I guess it kind of made sense. They had just gotten engaged a couple days before and hadn't made it public yet. All of our friends were there. Everyone, including us, were excited for them. I thought of her as a pretty close friend. She'd come over all the time to hang out when she was single. He was a former coworker, so not as close, but we double dated a bit early in their relationship. Before the pandemic. Oop is voted NTA. Update post. December 29, 2022. Dang y'all. I never expected my post would blow up the way it did. Here's the original post for reference. Since I got so many requests to check back in, here's the update. I stuck to my guns and did not invite them to my Christmas party. My partner stood by me when I told him I had made my decision and didn't bring it up again. Neither did our friends. Many of you guessed that they would try and crash our party. I got worried that could happen after all the responses, but thankfully it didn't. Probably 100 plus of you guessed she wanted to hijack the party to announce she was pregnant if that's the case. They haven't told anyone as far as I know. They did, however, decide to try and throw their own party at the same time as ours. Several friends told us they were trying to convince them to come to theirs instead. I honestly hope they had some guests and had a great time. I wish them no ill will. But I think just about everyone we expected came to our party, so I doubt they poached any guests from us. They made enough of a last-minute fuss over this that the whole thing became the gossip of our party. Their doing, not mine. I chose to not engage in it, but the consensus I heard was everyone thought it was bizarre they chose not to invite us to their wedding, and that them complaining about not being invited to our party was in poor taste. Most common question on Reddit was why did we not get an invite to their wedding. From what I can tell from people at our party gossiping about the situation, they've said it was because we're a little bit older than they are. I think that's weird since my partner and I are both 35. They're 28-29, so it's not like we're very far apart. Tara used to hang out with us at least once a week when she was single, and I literally introduced them. The whole thing still seems strange to me, but I guess it is what it is. So yeah, that's how it all went down. Our party was a blast. We got to see so many friends, some of which we haven't really seen since before COVID. Everyone had a great time. People literally brought toddlers we hadn't gotten to meet yet because of how crazy the world has been over the last couple of years. It was a wonderful evening. I hope y'all had as good of a Christmas as we did. I'm 100% on OOP's side for this. Not only because I would react the exact same way, but because that couple doesn't understand the value of friendship. Sadly, they've probably lost more friends since, and that's on them. I just hope OOP had a fabulous time at the party, regardless of the gossip and mini-drama tornado that inevitably swept through. I've never heard of declining to invite someone to a wedding because they're too old. And Lord help us all if 35 is too old. I'd have done what OOP did as well. I'd have taken the lack of invite to a 200-person wedding, where all mutual friends attended, as an indication that we are not, in fact, friends. The OP did the right thing. They clearly don't like her, or they feel intimidated, maybe because she has the ability to throw a huge party and has a huge social network. And they don't. Oh well. At a certain age, reciprocity is key. I wouldn't extend an invite to a good friend who I helped set up with their so if they couldn't bother inviting me to their wedding. Sounds like the couple was jealous of OOP. Them announcing their engagement at someone else's party is in extremely poor taste. And OP may not have cared, but the fact they didn't ask in advance reflects badly on them. But I can't believe they had the audacity to throw a fit over not being invited to the holiday party, when they didn't invite them to their sizable wedding. Would have understood if it was a small gathering with only family and closest of friends. And then they tried to ruin their holiday party by hosting their own party? What on earth is really going on here? This is definitely personal. I've told this story before. Had a friend who worked very closely with a woman in his department. Like they interacted more than the other 50 people in the department did with her. They never dated or anything like that. When the wedding came, everyone in the department was invited except for him. After the wedding, multiple people asked him why he was not invited when everyone else was. To this day he does not know why. Eventually, I guess it got back to the woman and she started becoming very cold in her interactions with him. In under a year's time she was gone from the company. I was sure she was going to announce a pregnancy. It's very bizarre to expect an invitation to an event when you recently didn't invite the people who would be hosting. Tara and Tony should be embarrassed about being so openly desperate for an invitation. I hope Oop had a blast and it seems like a great party. My head just got a bit dizzy thinking what this would cost. Damn. Probably what I make in a year. If I am lucky. But hey, there are way worse ways to spend money than on a great evening with friends, so good for them. They did, however, decide to try and throw their own party at the same time as ours. Several friends told us they were trying to convince them to come to theirs instead. If you have to convince people to come to a party being thrown truly out of spite, you are only making yourself seem like a drama queen 17-year-old. And guess what? Nobody likes that. Tongue out. Golden rule, people. Treat others how you want to be treated and all that. So this is the type of drama people with money have. Oop did the right thing. Treat them the way they treat you. Perhaps Oop should have sent word back that they're normally be welcome. But they're trying to limit numbers. Would not want this friend in my life. Complete disrespect. Maybe the girl is insecure because her fiancé once mentioned that he thought Oop is attractive, or he described her exactly when asked about his ideal woman. Or vice versa, with the guy having insecurities regarding Oop's partner. Still not sure why the bride didn't call her friend to have a conversation about the party invite. Instead of playing the "Can someone ask why I'm not invited?" quote. They could have tried to repair the relationship. Or just accept they had drifted apart. Instead they burned the bridges when having their party at the same time. Good for Oop for sticking up to their gun though. It's like if you have $100 and give me nothing. Then I have $5 and you ask for a $1. I say no. And you're mad.
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. Epic Haircast is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.